are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are...
Rope Break.
How's every single one of you, family? Another time that we're here to review NXT UK. Probably the best show in the WWE, right, Mr. Leek?
Yeah, this is really the one show that, like, when I watch it, I'm like, even after tonight with the contract signing, I was like, I love this feud more than McIntyre and Orton, especially more than the Tribal Chief and Jey Uso. Like, this feud is just so legit, and everything, I keep saying it each and every week, everything they do in NXT UK feels so real. It feels good. So that's, it's definitely my favorite show.
It's the seriousness that the show has, like, overpowers everything that we see in the WWE, especially with, like you said, Roman and Drew McIntyre. I think that this is, like, how you should portray a wrestling show rather than a musical.
Yeah, just because nothing, and also, and they definitely don't do the comedy stuff, but, like, they're not over the top with anything that they do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes Raw and SmackDown go over the top, and they're like, it's more like, like, the land of entertainers, I guess you could say, and this is like an actual wrestling show, but, it's good, though, and it's only an hour. We always say that every week. It's an hour, so it's like, it's easy to watch.
It's always easy to watch, easy to digest, and easy to do a review, and that's what we're going to do. So, don't forget also, like, to watch the rest of the content that we have every single week for you guys, right here, NXT. Thank you for the support in this video. Pat McAfee, for a lot of guys, like, even for one guy that I know at work, Mr. Leek Jean-Paul, like, he's excited just to see Pat McAfee coming back, just because he's legit. His show is legit.
Cobra Commander right there. He looks, I mean, this, it's cool. I just wish, Rich Holland wasn't done and he could be a part of this group, because that would be a legit group to go against the Undisputed Era.
And it could be like a faction, right? It would be like,
that would be 4 versus 4.
Yeah, so don't forget to check this. It's the home show for Halloween Havoc. It's going to be a great show. So, to support us on that also, family. And now let's start, Mr. Leek, with, like, boom. Eddie Dennis, the Welsh Dragon. Like, he came out, he looked so ripped. He looked muscle on top of muscle and no fat whatsoever. Is that those fries that you just shook them out and they had no fat at all. No grease, nothing. He was going to have a match with, like, Kofi Kingston. No, Jean-Paul. No. That gimmick from Ghana is not, he's not trying to emulate Kofi Kingston, okay? Don't be saying that. Oliver Carter, they put on a really good match to open the show. I like this. They're in a tag team. Carter, like, he was right there. You see his tag team partner, but he was singles this time. They gave us a good match, Jean-Paul. I really like it. Very, very stiff, intense. And, like, see, Carter look even better at some points than, like, Dennis.
Yeah, I agree. I really like Carter in this, and they, the match, there's never really a squash in NXT UK. They always are really trying to showcase all the talent here, but you knew Eddie Dennis was going to win. He's the monster, in comparison to size, and they even said, like, oh, this is his return, after 8 months, so you're not going to have the guy lose.
Remember, we saw him in, they covered Devlin, I think it was. Yeah, he got a match with Trent Seven, I think it was, right? Yes.
Yeah, because they did say that he was on a takeover, so that, like, he has that experience. He's a takeover caliber wrestler, and he is really good. And this match was legit, but Carter looked really good as well. He surprised me. I thought, oh, okay, he's gonna look good, but it's whatever. But no, he looked really good. I like this. I like his springboard. He did the lion salt. Really good moves.
That was a good combination. I like it. I like
and I love at the end when he, like, ran up his Eddie Dennis's chest like a freaking Spider-Man. You know what I mean? You remember that when he, like, ran off his chest and, like, did a backflip, and then he hit that, like, running elbow. And
when, like, he hit, like, the moonsault, like, he barely landed on anything. He landed on the mat.
Oh, yeah. He didn't hit it good, but it looked pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looked like slow motion. It looked really good.
The aim was bullshit, but it looked good.
Yeah, absolutely. But, like, see, Jean-Paul, like you said, and then he did, like, Dennis did the Razor's Edge. Kind of like, but he didn't go all the way, like
no, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't follow it down. He throws you.
Yes, like you said, for example, like Wardlow will do the F5. Like, he throws you, he spins you around. So, like, at the end, he wins, and then he cut a promo on Flash Morgan Webster and also on Mark Andrews, just because they were saying, oh, who attacked? Well, Flash Morgan Webster. Well, that's kind of, like, intriguing, right? So we'll see next week. There's going to have a match between both of the tag team. The tag team is going to have Flash Morgan Webster and also against Mark Andrews, but like the enforcer or like the person that's going to make sure that like the match is fair and square is going to be Dennis. So another new storyline that we're going to see on NXT UK. So we'll see what happens with this. I will suggest, Jean Paul, that they add another title, just because at least they will be the mid card guys will have something to fight for. At least for me.
Yeah, I think at some point they're going to. I think right now they're just really like establishing all these guys. I would say like when they have a takeover event, maybe do something for there. I don't know when the next NXT UK takeover is taking place, but maybe announce something there, or you don't want to just always do a tournament, but find out a way to introduce that for the guys once they're established. But I feel like right now for the next maybe month or so, just kind of get everybody familiar with all the names. But I do agree, you do need it soon.
You need it soon, you know what I mean? And then talking about returns and people that we're familiar with, Joe Coffey. Despite of all the allegations, despite of all the controversy, despite of like all these accusations that he had, Joe Coffey is returning soon. The leader of Gales. All right, Jean Paul? The leader of Gales.
Yeah. He's badass, and this. I'll say the same thing for all these guys that are in the same boat. If they did what they needed to do, whether it's go speak out against it, like this is bad, I was bullshit, don't do this. If they did the time or did the crime and served the time, then they're good. I mean, everybody deserves a second chance. Now, if he fucks up again, then okay, then done. But
because sometimes goodbye is a second chance.
There you go.
And shine down. But you know who's going to be in action, Jean Paul? That's this man, Jordan.
Yeah, speaking of second chances, there he is.
Jordan, pound by pound, the best wrestler in the world with the worst finisher in the world.
Devlin, oh my God.
The Cruiserweight champion. We'll see what happens with the story. I'm more excited about what happens with, our boy, the biggest pimp and narco in the world, Santos Escobar. So we'll see what happens, like a match between these two, maybe for the next takeover, Jean Paul, or maybe Survivor Series. That sounds like money making match right there. Match, So we'll see where he's gonna be in action. So that's cool. We'll see what he's able to do. So I like that. I like this thing. So now, Jean Paul, let's move on to the girls. Nina Samuels. She was fighting Amel, the French Hope. These two girls have this match because 2 weeks ago when they were in a tag match against Zaya Brookside and also Dani Luna, Nina Samuels left Amel by herself. And that allowed the faces to get the win, so they have this match to see who was the best woman between them. And this was decent at most. I don't think it was the greatest match in the world. I think that they just need to find a way to in the women's division have a woman that is already established with a new face, so they we want to see more, because this is kind of like AEW category at some points. It's we want to change the channel, like you said, sometimes be on our phones. So I don't know how you felt about this.
Yeah, no, I felt 100% the same way. The women's division here is, you don't want to say it's the weakest thing, but if you look at it, really, it is the weakest thing that they have. Besides Kayle Lee and Piper Niven, there isn't really a big star on their roster. And, Nina Samuels, they're trying to build her up, and she's one of those, she won this match, and she was the right woman to win because, she was the veteran. And then, she called out Piper Niven when this thing was over. And that was good because it's Piper, what did I just say? She's the only other legit woman besides the champion. Yeah. And it's how many times can we keep seeing Piper go against Kayle Lee and lose? Because they clearly don't want to take the belt off Kayle Lee. So this will be a good feud for Piper, her against Nina. So we'll see, because they're probably going to put Piper over, but they need to build somebody up, whether it's Valkyrie or Ginny.
I want to make sure that you took notice of this, but what did Nina Samuels use as her finisher? That is something that another British woman with the name of Paige uses, and that's the Paige Turner. That's the move that, in Fighting With My Family, that's the finisher that her brother created.
What is she called? The final cut, I think she calls it.
She called it the final cut, but Paige is the Paige Turner because it's
it's just a swinging
net breaker.
Yeah.
So and then he pinned that, but Paige actually went on Twitter and said, "Oh well, if you use that finisher, you most likely will win the match." So there was that exchange. So that's legit because Paige.
Well, hey, imagine Paige said she wants to come back. So imagine if she shows up on that brand, that would be so legit.
Well, and that will make the brand, from it's already good. Why? Because Paige, and I will say maybe they can take care of her even better. But I don't know if her life is like here in the States. You know, if she likes it in the States better, or if she wants to go back.
Well,
to
I know she said she wants to come back, and I always joke Triple H listens to us, but if anybody's listening out there, but I think if she goes there, she would be treated like a star.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, if she goes to Raw or SmackDown, she'll be just lost in the shuffle. Once Charlotte comes back and Becky Lynch, forget about it.
You'll be like, okay, girl,
goodbye. Even Asuka, Bayley, Sasha, they're all ahead of you.
Move ahead.
But if you put her on NXT UK, she'll be the number one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it will be good because she can fight Kayle Lee. Mm-hmm. So, let's move on, Jean-Paul, really quick. Let's go to, like, the Heritage Cup tournament. This match was, like, I don't know, it wasn't that good. I will say that. It wasn't that great, and there's our boy Trent Seven, there with the mustache, like they were saying, like, NXT Tag Team Champion with, like, Tyler Bate, by going against Kenny Williams. I don't know what to think about this. The first 2 rounds were okay. No falls, no anything. So, that's the one thing I'm not liking. It's just because, like, they kind of, like, the first 2 rounds, they kind of warm up. They kind of, like, scout themselves, and then is when the match really takes place. It starts going better, starts to speed up. But, like, so what's the so you have to skip the first 2 rounds all the time?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. When they did that for like 1 or 2 of the matches, it's like, okay, but when you do that for every round, how about a guy scores a surprise pin in the first round?
Yes.
And then you go the next 2 rounds without a pin, and then the other guy ties it up, and it's like, okay, now we're at 1 apiece, and we're going into the 5th round. So now it's like, okay, now who's gonna win, instead of like, oh, no pin the first round, no pin the second round, oh, guy gets one in the 3rd, another guy gets one in the 4th, now we're in the 5th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can space them out a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I like Trent Seven a lot. He's one of my favorites, and Williams is good too, but I don't know what and it's not like the match was bad or the chemistry wasn't there, but it was just kind of slow, and every time it started to pick up, the round would end. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, they kept telling that story. Nobody could get the momentum. And then when Williams scored his fall, it was like a roll-up, like 30, it was like 30 seconds into the 3rd or 4th round, and I'm like, that was kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? It was just, I felt like they were like, hey, man, we got to go home. Like, we still got the contract signing, and they're like, oh, shit, okay, roll me up quick.
And that's what I mean. Even the second fall, that, like, Trent Seven, it was just like a jackknife, like, pin.
Yeah.
And that was it. I was like, really? So you don't have a finisher, you don't have anything that, like, puts the guy away. It was that bad. So, like, yeah, this is bad for me. I didn't really like this.
Yeah, this is, I think, ranked at the bottom with the what's his name, the Mastiff one where he knocked that guy out. Yeah.
So the last 2 that we've seen have been, like, the weakest one out of the 4 matches. So we'll see what happens in the semifinals. There's
no way Noam Dar and A-Kid is going to be bad. So.
Oh, what? Yeah, that is going to be, like, great. This one, Trent Seven and Mastiff, is going to be it's questionable just because of, like, what we see in the first match, but we'll see what happens.
I think it'll be good because they'll beat the hell out of each other because Mastiff's not going to knock out Trent Seven.
Oh, well, yeah.
They're not gonna bury him like that. So I think that'll be good, and those will be 2 great matchups. I could see it easily being. Ooh, I don't know. I'm going Noam Dar and Trent Seven in the final.
No, I'm saying A-Kid against Mastiff.
Well, then Mastiff's gonna win. I don't know if they're gonna put A-Kid over Mastiff.
I'm saying A-Kid going Mastiff with the final.
Yeah, but I don't know.
A-Kid might win it.
I don't. Yeah, we'll see. It's good. It's good though. I enjoy it.
Prediction for me. So Jean-Paul, let's go to the main event. And that is the contract signing between these 2 guys. And it's Ilya Dragunov and Walter. This was good. They had a Sikala, because the GM is never there. Like any other job, the GM is never there.
Nope.
That's why it's called GM, because you're always somewhere else.
Gone missing. They're gone missing.
Yeah. So, like, this was good. This was to the point, and nothing like any WWE main roster show or WWE US will do. Like adding a lot of, like, talking or anything. This was to the point. Walter right away he signed the contract, as you can see. And again, he's left-handed, so am I. So he's legit. And then they went home. Like you said, it's like the show has to be over. It was actually 49 minutes. Normally it's like 53 or 54.
Yeah.
I know it was 49. They have to, like, go watch Raw break, so I understand.
They saw there was soccer videos, and they're like, yee.
They're like, yeah. So, like, they went there, and then boom, they went at it, Jean-Paul. And you love the chops because, like,
oh yeah,
the chest is still red. It still looks like hurt. And
it probably looks worse, you know, as we're recording this right now than it did when he was getting chopped.
Oh yeah, they right there. You know, he took care of him, and they went at it. But also, Dragunov had a lot of more offense on Walter or Bolta. So like this was good. You know, like I said, like they keep like
and I like how it's, you know, they explained it, because Walter's normally just, yeah, he's, you know, he is how he is, but he can be calm, he can be legit, but they're like, he's so pissed off that he got pinned last week. You know, and Dragunov was, you know, he stood up after he signed the contract. So the tempers were there, and that's why it makes sense. It went on maybe a little too long for my liking. It was legit, though, how, like, even though Dragunov got the shit beat out of him, Walter also got his. You know, he got knocked down a couple times, knocked into the barricade and stuff. So it was good. This match to me and this feud is so good because, like I said, nothing's super like over the top with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. It's like, let's get the legends involved and let's do all this other shit. And to me, that, like, you know, you're putting too much sprinkles and, you know, fudge and whipped cream on your ice cream, and it's too much. You only need one or two things to make it legit.
This is to the point. And next week, it's happening next week. It's going to be on the special time, Jean-Paul. It's going to be 4 p.m. for the people that are watching us, and I'm going to watch the NXT UK show. It's going to be on a special time just because it's this match. I think is going to take a big chunk of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's going to be...
I wouldn't be surprised if this match is almost an hour. Walter can go. We know how long Walter can wrestle.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I probably, if they do, maybe, like, a few promos and maybe the match.
Mm.
That could be, you know, maybe 40 minutes, half hour. You know, and the predictions. Let's do predictions right now, Jean-Paul. Is Walter keeping the title? Or
this is so tough. I want to say Dragunov is going to win. Yeah, you know, I got to go with Dragunov. I got to do it. I don't think he will, but I'm going with Dragunov.
New NXT UK champion in Ilya Dragunov, but for me, I'm going to say that, like, the ring general, Volta, is going to stay champion just because I think that, I don't know, maybe they want to do something with Finn Balor, like you said. They teased it. Unfortunately, COVID hit and all of that, so we couldn't see Finn Balor going against Volta, but maybe that's what the feud is going to be at some point. We'll see what happens on that, but I'm saying the ring general is going to keep the championship. So that's how the show ended, but we're really excited. We're really excited because this is going to be a really great show. Maybe Pete Dunne might get involved. You know what I mean? What about a Pete Dunne going heel and he causes Dragunov the match?
Oh, yeah, or Joe Coffey, you know, they said, I mean, I don't know if they're going to put him right in the title picture. They might warm him up a little bit, but yeah, Pete Dunne would be legit or something. I feel like it's going to be good. I think next week's show, there's going to be a surprise or two. I don't think it's just going to be, you know, a clean victory here or there. There's going to be some funny business involved.
That's good. And, you know, and that's it. That's it, Jean-Paul. See how quick it was? How quick it was? Like, we're so excited. See our faces? Yeah. So, you know, family, thank you so very much for watching the video. And thank you so very much for the support, for the comments that you give us in every single one of the social media outlets that we have. That Jean-Paul is going to remind of every single one of them right now.
We can follow us on Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, the original Rope Break on Instagram, and, of course, the original Rope Break right here on YouTube for the #1 podcast. And you can also follow us on alleverythingentertainment.com.
Thank you so very much, Jean-Paul, and thank you, family. We're going to meet you in a few hours because we're going to be reviewing SmackDown, so that's why Jean-Paul is already blue, and you'll see me in blue as well, because finally we're going to match the freaking show template. So, family, it's going to be an awful show in SmackDown, so just watch it. No, watch both, you know, do like a double date with Robert, double feature. First NXT UK, and then you do SmackDown. So, family, we'll meet you right there in a few hours, so Jean-Paul, you and me have one thing that is left to say, and that is...